12 News at 10 starts right now.
We begin tonight with breaking news coming out of the Middle East, where NBC News is reporting that Israel has carried out a retaliatory strike in Iran. The strike was reportedly in the central Iranian city of Isfahan, but the target was not a nuclear facility. The strike follows Iran's retaliatory drone and missile attack against Israel last weekend, which Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had vowed to respond to. According to NBC News, Israeli officials notified the U.S. about their response earlier today, although the U.S. was not involved in the strike tonight. So far, the Israeli embassy in Washington has declined to comment on the attack. We will keep you updated as we learn more. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Kadiba Devine. New tonight, an Arizona family is advocating for a bill that would change the way newborns are screened for medical conditions. Vital changes that could lead to life-changing measures for both babies and their parents. Bianca
Bono is live outside the Capitol right now with a story you'll only see here on 12 News. Bianca?
Mark Caribe, Anthony Castle is 24 years old, and he hasn't let his medical condition get in the way from living his life to the fullest. But his mom knew something was wrong soon after he was born, and she essentially had to beg her doctors for a diagnosis. She doesn't want any family to have to go through that again.
I inspire people.
24-year-old Anthony Castle's story is inspiring. He has Duchenne muscular dystrophy and hasn't let the life-limiting muscle disorder get in the way of facing uphill battles head-on. In 2018, 12 News was there as Castle made it to the top of Camelback Mountain, and he has more mountains to climb.
The Granite Mountain Hotshot Memorial.
He wants to do that in the fall.
But life hasn't always been easy for the Castles. Soon after Anthony was born, his mother Jill knew something was wrong. He was hitting milestones late, but doctors assured her that was normal and he would catch up.
It was really frustrating too because I kept getting treated like I was overreacting. You know, I was just this crazy mother.
After begging for evaluations, she finally got one for Anthony.
They ran a blood test and they test the levels of muscle destruction, and he was like a normal level would be 200 and he was 35,000.
Their lives changed. Jill was told Anthony would stop walking between 8 and 10 years old and go into a wheelchair. Then would come the problems with his lungs and heart.
And there were no treatments out there, and we should just go home and love him. That was literally the advice that we got. I wasn't okay with that. So I started looking for answers.
Thanks to her and Anthony's willingness to participate in clinical trials, he started getting treatment at age 6. Today, there are 8 FDA-approved treatments with more coming.
And you can start these treatments right away.
Which is why Anthony has his sights set on a different kind of uphill battle, the Arizona State Capitol. He and his family are advocating for the passage of SB 1020, a bill that would add Duchenne muscular dystrophy to the list of conditions tested for at birth. In addition to starting immediate treatment, it would also help parents prepare for the challenging medical journey ahead.
Finding out early allows you to save up for a handicap van or to maybe not buy a house that has stairs.
Anthony has bravely gone before the legislature, and the bill, sponsored by Senator T.J. Shope, has received bipartisan support. It's now part of budget negotiations.
It means a lot to us.
The Castles hoping by sharing their story, it's signed into law, giving future families one less mountain to climb.
That would make Arizona the 4th state in the country to adopt newborn screening for Duchenne. So it would be quite a victory.
And if you're wondering why this bill is part of the funding in the budget, it's because funding is needed in order to support testing and labs in order to process those results. Budget negotiations are currently underway. We're live at the Capitol tonight. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Anthony is a true inspiration. Bianca, thank you. Tonight, we are learning some new details in a gruesome case that we've been tracking for you since April. 12 News has learned the name of the person found inside of a burning car next to a canal near 55th Avenue in Osborne in West Phoenix. Police telling us that the victim was 26-year-old Jose de Jesus Loaiza. Right now, police are treating the case as a homicide. They're asking anyone with information to call 480-WITNESS. You can remain anonymous. Police are also offering a reward for information that leads to an arrest.
Tonight, 12 News is uncovering a hidden expense within the state's ESA school voucher program, one that district leaders say is costing both money and time for their own special needs students. Since the universal ESA law was passed almost 2 years ago, a surge of families have been going to school districts to get special needs evaluations, which are expensive, and it's done for them at no cost. The evaluations are for issues like autism and reading disabilities, and they amount to thousands of dollars of resources for each child. But the families don't have kids in public schools. Instead, they're using the special needs evaluations in order to qualify for higher-paying private school vouchers.
What they do is they tell us, oh yeah, I'm coming to your school. They've been coached. And so we start the process, and then sure enough, as soon as they get the designation that they want, then they're gone.
I mean, our public schools just simply cannot afford to do all this testing with no reimbursement whatsoever. It's definitely debilitating for public schools.
One of the state's largest districts, the Deer Valley Unified District, says it's provided testing for almost 100 ESA students this year at a cost upwards of $500,000.
Tonight, Phoenix Union High School leaders say that they need more time to study whether metal detectors are effective tools in keeping students safe on campus. A 12-week pilot program that started late last year will now run through the end of the year. 12 News journalist Jonathan McCall has more on what school officials are looking into.
A total of 8 advanced weapon systems were placed on the campuses of Bostrom and Maryville high schools as part of that pilot program. In February, board leaders had the option to expand it to include more schools or to extend it to just include Maryville and Bostrom. For now, the advanced weapons detection systems will remain at just those 2 campuses. Leaders say they wanted to see just how effective they are at stopping weapons from entering campus. In September 2022, a shooting scare at Central High School prompted district leaders to revamp security at its campuses to keep students safe. The district in recent years has seen several incidents of guns and weapons finding its way onto campuses. Just last year, a 15-year-old student at Bostrom High School brought a loaded AR-15 rifle onto campus. 12 News talked to one Maryville High School freshman who says reaction among her peers about the detectors is mixed. But she says that she and her mom both feel safe knowing they're available.
Like, oh, I feel safer, and I told my parents about it, and they're like, oh, I want my kid going to the school because they're safe, and like nobody's gonna come and like do something bad there.
The district recently purchased the 8 advanced weapons detection systems at the schools. So what happens for the rest of the year? The board says it will continue collecting evidence through December, talking with students, parents, and teachers about their effectiveness. A permanent decision could come as early as 2025. The board could decide to include even more schools or abandon the program altogether. The district says it plans to release its findings of what they've learned so far from the first 12 weeks of this pilot program during their board meeting in June. In West Phoenix, Jonathan McCall, 12 News.
Jonathan, thanks. Let's talk weather now with meteorologist Lindsay Riley. And Linz, I think we can probably put away, and I'm asking for a friend, is it time to put away the boots?
I think we're about done with boot season in Phoenix. It's time to put the boots away. It's time to bring out the sandals. Here's why. Temperatures are in the 90s for the foreseeable future. We'll peak on Monday at 98 degrees. Now, good news is, but still not boot weather, is that we're going to go back down to the 80s late next week, but it will be brief. Even up in the high country, 70s through Monday, and then dropping off into the 60s. So late next week, we will see those temperatures trail off once again. We had a fair number of clouds clouds out there today. No rainfall anywhere though, but the clouds are moving east. Skies are already beginning to clear across western Arizona, and that's going to continue pushing eastward. So we will wake up to a bright and sunny start to our Friday. Sunrise time tomorrow is at 5:52. Temperatures out the door tomorrow morning, 6 and 7 a.m. will be in the upper 60s, rising already to 77 by 9 a.m. and highs Caribe in the mid-90s tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, just perfect. All right, Lindsay, thank you. Well, it is the tail end of the wildflower season, and experts are warning about a tricky invasive plant that is messing with nature and, of course, your allergies. It's called Stinknet, and it's not only hard to kill, but it could also make areas more vulnerable when fire season gets here. Now, experts say that Stinknet came from southern Africa about 25 years ago. It has a yellow globe with tons of tiny little seeds that can spread everywhere. Botanists are still studying this invasive plant, and since it's not native, they say that it needs to go and fast.
If that plant remains standing, it's now going to be fuel for wildfire, as well as dropping that seed.
It can take over an area and exclude all of our native plants and make it very difficult for them to grow there because it depletes the resources in the soil for them.
If you see the plant, experts are asking you to just go ahead and pull it up. However, it does have a nasty smell to it, so you'll want to use gloves and maybe even a face covering. You'll also have to tie it up in a bag so that the seeds don't keep spreading.